Hi, PerspectaWeather.com meteorologist Paul Dorian here on Monday, January 28th. A lot to talk about this morning. An extremely cold air mass is headed into the north central U.S. over the next couple of days. It'll make its way to the eastern seaboard by the middle part of the week. It looks like there can be some accumulating snow preceding the Arctic blast here in the mid-Atlantic region, perhaps on the order of 1 to 3 inches later tomorrow evening. From D.C. to Philadelphia to New York City. The real true Arctic boundary comes through on Wednesday. That could cause some snow shower activity, maybe even a few heavier snow squalls, gusty winds past 40 miles per hour or so. The real Arctic air blasts into the region by Wednesday night, and by Thursday morning, very well could see temperatures near 0 degrees in much of the I-95 corridor region. Thursday's highs will struggle to perhaps even reach the teens in many parts of the I-95 corridor region. Meanwhile, the upper part of the Midwest has already been suffering through some severe cold. Yesterday morning, as a matter of fact, temperatures bottomed out at minus 44 degrees at International Falls, Minnesota. That's one of the coldest places, if not the coldest place in the U.S., but even minus 44 is incredibly cold. Their all-time low temperature record was minus 55 degrees, so very impressive cold already, and the worst is yet to come for places like Chicago, Madison, Wisconsin. There very well could be temperatures as low as 30 degrees below zero by Wednesday morning and perhaps again Thursday morning. Chicago's all-time record low was set in January 1985 on January 20th at minus 27 degrees. That is in jeopardy. That's the kind of cold we're talking about in the Midwest over the next few days. This morning, this is a map from coolweather.com that shows near record lows or record lows, and just wanted to point out, look at this one spot right here in Ontario, a place called Chapleau, Ontario, just set its all-time record low temperature. That's pretty darn impressive here. Of minus 48.9 degrees, and it broke the daily low record by shattering it. The old daily record was minus 32.4. Again, an all-time record low set in Ontario, Canada this morning. Well, let's take a look at last night's 06E run of the GFS model. First, I want to take a look at the 500 millibar pattern, including the vorticity fields. A complicated setup for the next few days. Again, we have accumulating snow that will precede an Arctic blast. This is how it looks as we start the week, start the day on Monday. Some vorticity stretched out along the eastern seaboard. Precipitation-free day here in the mid-Atlantic region. There certainly will be some clouds. And here's a wave in the atmosphere that will actually result in accumulating snow across the upper part of the Midwest before they get to incredibly cold levels. Let's now move forward in 6-hour increments. Here we are by early tonight. A deep upper level low starting to show up here on the maps by later on this afternoon, early part of tonight. Again, some snow already breaking out well ahead of that Arctic blast up across the upper part of the Midwest. Now, as we go into the day on Tuesday, notice an upper level feature down here in the southern states. Cold frontal system will be sliding towards the eastern seaboard on Tuesday. Low pressure will form along that cold frontal boundary zone and move from the south to the north. Mixed precipitation, anywhere from snow to sleet to rain, could develop in the I-95 corridor region as early as tomorrow morning, and then likely change over to rain for a brief period in the early afternoon, and then likely snow late in the afternoon, early tomorrow night as colder air filters in with that low pressure system aided by this vorticity field moving to the north and east. Then here's the real upper level feature that helps to usher in that extremely cold air for the upper part of the Midwest. So we have the low pressure along the initial cold frontal boundary zone later tomorrow into tomorrow night. And again, I'm thinking perhaps 1 to 3 inches in D.C., Philadelphia, New York City later tomorrow into tomorrow night. And watch for slippery travel conditions because temperatures will be dropping Any rain could leave some wet spots on the road before temperatures drop below freezing, and then add snow on top of that. You could have a messy situation on the roads late tomorrow afternoon into tomorrow night. Let's keep moving forward here now from Tuesday night. Notice kind of quite an active upper level feature, and that will swing some more upper level energy through the mid-Atlantic region during the day on Wednesday. Right in here we see something swinging around that deep upper level feature. That could set off some snow shower activity Wednesday afternoon, maybe even a couple of heavier snow squalls. Well, let's now take a look at the surface maps from last night's 6E GFS model run. These maps, by the way, from tropicaltidbits.com. Again, accumulating snow ahead of the blast of extremely cold air for the upper part of the Midwest. Several inches of snow possible in parts of Wisconsin, Minnesota to Michigan, ahead of the Arctic blast. Let's move forward here. Basically, that low pressure slides onto the north and east of the mid-Atlantic region on Tuesday. This is the Monday evening forecast map, but it has a strong cold frontal system trailing from basically northeast to southwest all the way to the Gulf region. This is a forecast map for tomorrow morning. We saw some upper level energy in the southern states as of early Tuesday, and that will help set off the development of low pressure along that frontal boundary zone. Snow could break out early tomorrow morning, then become a mixture in the I-95 corridor region, and then likely to change to rain for a while in the early afternoon. Temperatures probably peak 40 degrees or so in D.C., Philadelphia, New York City, but much of this precipitation will be on the cold side or the backside of this frontal system called anafront, A-N-A, anafront frontal precipitation here. So that cold front will be ushering in colder air, but still some precipitation as that low pressure rides up along that frontal boundary zone. All areas should see a changeover to snow in D.C., Philadelphia, and ultimately New York City. Starting first in D.C., maybe mid-afternoon, going into the evening hours, and then late afternoon or early evening, the changeover in Philadelphia, and during the evening hours in New York City. And all areas could end up with perhaps 1 to as much as 3 inches of snow by midnight tomorrow night. And then let's keep moving forward here. You see a very noticeable boundary zone right in this region here come Wednesday afternoon. That could feature some snow shower activity, maybe even a couple of heavier snow squalls in the I-95 corridor. Winds could gust past 40 miles per hour on Wednesday as that true Arctic air arrives. In fact, the real blast will be noticeable Wednesday night and then going into Thursday morning. And notice this thickness here, 498 all the way down across southern Pennsylvania. We talked about the thickness values in this lowest half of the atmosphere, the 1,000 to 500 millibar layer. The lower the temperatures, the more that layer contracts. So it's kind of a good indicator of surface temperatures by looking at the thickness values, and it's generally as low as 480 going through Chicago area, Madison, Wisconsin area in the late Tuesday, Wednesday time frame, and gets as low as 498 thickness all the way down to southern Pennsylvania by Wednesday night. And here we are by Thursday morning. Look at this, 498 thickness. Thursday morning could see temperatures near 0 degrees in some of the suburban areas along the big cities from Washington to Philadelphia to New York City. Certainly down to single digits south of the Mason-Dixon line, but perhaps near 0 across Philly suburbs and New York City suburbs come Thursday morning. And Thursday itself, temperatures will struggle to reach the teens in many parts of the I-95 corridor region. And then we have a little bit of another system here to watch for the end of the work. We come Friday, there could be some snow to talk about. Stays quite cold on Friday, still pretty cold on Saturday as well. But the good news is a big warm-up looks like it's coming for the Sunday, Monday time frame, perhaps as high as the 50s early part of next week in parts of the Mid-Atlantic region. But a lot to go through before we get there. First of all, there could be accumulating snow late tomorrow into tomorrow night. Watch for slippery roads late tomorrow evening. And then a real true Arctic boundary slips through midday, afternoon on Wednesday, perhaps associated with snow showers, maybe even a few heavier snow squalls and gusty winds past 40 miles per hour or so. And then there's extreme cold that first hits the upper part of the Midwest, perhaps with all-time record lows, blasts into the Mid-Atlantic region Wednesday night and Thursday. Temperatures could be near 0 degrees in many parts of the I-95 corridor region come Thursday morning. That's it for now. For PerspectaWeather.com, I'm meteorologist Paul Dorian.